you are tampering with what every Christian feels insecure about. Their worst nightmare is what happens if the Jews are right.
Do you have a question?
Yes. Shalom, Rabbi. I have two questions. Most Christians see us as rival, perhaps even a danger to their own faith. How do you change that image in their minds?
You should do nothing to change that image. You pose a major threat to Christianity. Why? Because to atheists, they can respond, but you are returning back to Judaism. This is the biggest threat in the world because you were part of the Christian world and then you are utterly rejecting it. And therefore, Christians will feel very threatened by you. Even if you said you don't believe in God anymore, they won't find that threatening. But they will find it very threatening if you say you accept Judaism. It's the most threatening thing to them. Think about this. In the Gospels, what do you have? A war between religious Jews, they're called Pharisees, but that just means religious Jews, and Christians. They didn't call themselves Christians either, but we use these words because these are conventional. So every Christian in the back of his or her mind wonders, especially those who have any knowledge of Jewish people personally, wonders, but why don't the Jews believe in Jesus? This is a very traumatic thing for Christians. Why the Jews of all people who could read the Bible's original language, the Jews are known to be very intelligent, they have a good reputation, why the Jews of all people don't believe in Jesus? And therefore, if you're choosing the Jewish faith, you are tampering with what every Christian feels insecure about. Their worst nightmare is what happens if the Jews are right. And therefore, the Christian world always characterizes the Jew as an enemy of God, as evil, as devilish. Why? So no one would even consider what the Jews have to say. But in the back of the mind of Christians, there is at some point a wonder of all people, why don't the Jews believe in this? Therefore, you choosing the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is a very big threat to Christians. Now, I try to speak in a way where it's not hostile. I'm not doing this because it's some method or technique. I recognize that people who grow up in the Christian world just don't know anything else. That's all they know. I feel tremendous compassion for people who didn't have my education. You know, whatever you convey in a way that's not threatening. You know, that would be, meaning in a way that's not hostile. That'll be better. But to your family, especially friends, they see this as much worse than you saying I'm an atheist. I mean, if you said you're an atheist, that would be a problem. It's not that Christians will be happy. But then they'll say, let's sit and talk. I don't know, you lost faith. But to be a Jew, that means you believe in God, but you believe that Christianity is a false religion? That is the biggest threat in the world. So you can't stop the church from detesting the fact that you have discovered that Christianity is a false religion.
Jews do not missionize. Christians are accustomed to do so. Do no guys have a task to convert Christians?
We're not trying to get people to convert to Judaism because you don't need to be Jewish to be saved. I mean, everyone gets this wrong. Everyone thinks that Jews are against converting other people. And they don't understand what's going on. If we're just against converting other people, that would mean that we're a bunch of racists and bigots, and we think that non-Jews are all animals, and that doesn't make a difference. I no more need a Gentile to believe in the true God than I need my dog to believe in God. That's how people see it, and they see the Jews as sort of an elite group. At least they think that's how we see ourselves, and that bothers them. They don't like that. They're right. It doesn't make sense. Listen very carefully. Christians and Muslims need to engage in converting others because they believe that if you don't belong to their religion, that means you're not a Muslim, you're not a Christian, you're going to go to hell. So there's an imperative to convert everybody else. The Jew, it's not that we have some rule we don't convert other people. The point is that a person who is not a descendant of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is not going to hell as long as they keep the Noahide laws and they observe Judaism for the nations of the world. So why should I take someone, I mean, if someone is non-Jewish, believes in God, keeps the 7 Noahide laws, if they want to, Friday night, they can go driving. No sin. They can be driving while they're eating a non-kosher food at the same time. There's no sin. So to convert someone to Judaism, which means they're now joining the nation, so now if they, God forbid, go back to their old ways, they're held accountable for it. And we frankly don't want people to jeopardize themselves. Now, if somebody is very strong and says, I want to be a Jew and that's it, so of course we take our time, convert them, but there's no imperative to convert people. So what's going on here is not that Jews don't want to convert people. Our whole job is to be a light to the nations. There's no need for anyone to convert to the Jewish people, to go through conversion, because you don't need to do that to be saved, because the righteous of all the nations have a place in the world to come. Do you get it? Now, one other caveat to this. How are the Jews supposed to transform the world? We are to be a light to the nations. So this is very interesting in that the Torah never tells the Jews to go out to the non-Jews. Never tells us, ever. There are individuals who are given such a mandate, like Jonah. So this is very strange in that the Torah says that if the Jew is loyal to her God, it sheds light through the world. People are affected by it. So we don't go out and hold crusades. We don't need to. We just are loyal to Hashem, and it affects the world, and it raises people up whose hearts are open to the true God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא ואת נעשה